Hello everyone, and welcome to the first video in my series of how to create an interactive HUD in C++ part 1. Today we're going to be doing the health bar. We'll be doing health text as well. So with the health bar we will be changing the colour of the health bar depending on the value of our player's health. So let's get started. We're going to make a project in first person. I'm going to use C++. I'll be calling this HUD series. Not HUD series, and let's create the project. Make sure you've got C++. We've got quality preset. Just generally I've got a maximum, and target platform will be desktop. So let's create the project. Now my Unreal Engine has loaded and I've got my rider open as well. You may be using Visual Studio, but I have all the files here. If you just go to games, it'll come up with a name. Mine's called HUD series source, and then you can just click through this. These are all the C++ folders, which I'm assuming most of you may know. So like we've got the character, the player controller. Right, so let's begin. I'm just going to show you. It's got the same project, so just a first person character running around the scene. So perfect. So the first thing we're going to want to do is make a user widget. So I'm just going to make a quick folder here called UI. So I'm going to go all the way back to all, go to C++ classes, HUD series, and make a new folder in here if I can. Which I may have to create it in here. Anyway, we'll go to all classes, search for user widget. If I can spell. We've got user widget there. Next, and then we're gonna want to call it player HUD. I'll call it 2D, and then this can go in the UI folder. Let's create the class. So this will create the C++ file in Rider or Visual Studio for yourselves if you're using that. Perfect, it's all loaded. I like to get rid of all these comments. It's been automatically left in. So the first thing we're going to want to do is create some functions. The first function we'll be creating is the virtual void native construct. This basically is essentially begin play for user widgets. So I'll just type in native construct and it automatically comes up. And then the second function we're going to be making is the function to call set health bar. So when the player takes damage, this function will be called, and then the health bar will receive the data accordingly. So let's say the player loses 10 health, it'll take 10 off. So I'm going to call this void set health bar, and then I'm going to have two variables. First one's going to be a float called current health. I'm smashing the caps key. And then the second variable is going to be called max health. Can't seem to type today for some reason. So I'll just highlight them both. Create definitions from both, click OK, and this will make the definitions in the CPP. Back to the player HUD, we also need to make some variables for like the player text block. It does not like private. I am missing something here. Anyway, we'll just put it in public for the minute. I'll figure that out in a moment. I'm unsure why it doesn't like it. Maybe I have also need to put U functions. It's good practice. Right, so next, so the U properties will be an edit anywhere. So we can edit them in our blueprints. And then we'll have meta bind widgets. This binds the widget to the blueprint. So in the user widget blueprint, it needs to be called the same name as what you're going to be calling it now. So I'm going to use t-object pointer to create a U text block. I'm going to forward declare it, and then I'm going to call this health text. For some reason it doesn't like it when I try and put anywhere. Perfect. So I'm just going to be a bit lazy, keep the U property there. Add it anywhere. The next one will be another t-object pointer, and it's going to be a U progress bar. We're going to go for declare it, because I'm going to be showing you two ways. And then we'll call this one just health bar. Let's see if it lets me use private. Or classes are automatically private, so I can just move this up above. For some reason, I'm not sure why it's not letting me use private. Maybe I'm doing something silly and not noticing. Well, there we have it. So let's jump straight into native construct. The first thing we want to do is when the game starts, we want to set the health bar percentage to full, because we don't want it to show that the player's got no health. The next thing we're going to want to do is make two F strings. Actually, we're not. That's going to be for later on. First off, we're going to get the health text. Set the text. And we're going to do F text. And string, we're just going to go 100 over 100 if you want to display the health this way. So when the player takes damage, now we've got the set health bar. That native construct will set it on screen to 100 and the health bar to 100 automatically when the game starts. We can set this dynamically by creating initialize HUD and get the values in from the player controller. But just for now, we'll do native construct. I can show people how to do that in the future. So first up, we need to gonna make some color changes for the health bar. So I'm gonna make a constant expression. So we need a F linear color. Red color. You can have it different tints of like red. So I'm gonna do 1.0F. The alpha is always going to be set to 1. So I'm going to have 3 different ones here. So I'm going to do orange colour. And then a blue colour. So blue is the main, orange is like half health, and red is very low health. So let me just change the values. So I think it's 0.15. This one will be 1 at the end on the B. And then green will be 0.5, and then blue will be 0. So there we have it, red, green, blue. So I'm going to do a quick if statement. If current health, it's auto typing for me, is less than 30 health. Then I'm going to set the health bar. Set the health health bar, and we need to set it. Set the health percentage. Fill and call, that's what I'll be doing. Fill and call opacity, and then just pass in red colour. If I just copy this, I can do an else if, another else if. This one can be more than 30 and current health is less than equal to 70. And the bottom one is more than 70. So this one will be orange colour. That one will be blue colour. So then, last thing we need to do is health bar, set percentage, and it'll be current health divided by max health. So let's say it's 100 out of 100, we have 90. So 90 divided by 100 will be 0.9. So that'll be showed 10% off the health bar. Next up, I'm going to do the text in here as well. So then we need an F string. So I'm going to call this current health string. Current health string equals F string again. Then we need a from int current health. It's auto done it for me, so that is perfect. I'm going to do this one called max health. My caps lock keeps sticking weirdly today, it's never done that. And then this will be max, no, this will be, yeah, max health. And this way we want to set the text, so I'm just going to be lazy, grab that, paste that in. So we only want the divide to show, but we want the current health string, then we need a plus icon, and then another plus icon, and then a max health string. So that'll show when it's updated what the current health is and what the max health is. So like I said before, 90 and 100, it'll 90 slash out of 100 to show the player. Perfect, that is the player HUD setup. Let's go into UI and, well, I just need to, I need to live code that. Right, that's all live coded, player HUD. So we want to create a blueprint class based on player HUD. So we're going to UI folder, I'm going to call it widget blueprint WBP, widget blueprint, player HUD. So as you can see, we can't compile. It says we've got a required widget binding health text. So first off, I'm just going to get myself a canvas panel, add that in. Now that we have the canvas panel, with the canvas panel, we want to make sure it's set to 1920 or 1080. I like 2560 times 440. Don't know why I said it like that, but sometimes people say weird stuff. So next we want is the progress bar. So this will be the progress bar. I'm going to have it bottom right. I'm going to anchor it to the bottom right. So how do we want it to look? Have it like that. That looks really good. Any more playing around with it we can do. Future episodes I can show you, but just for now, have it like that. So we need to change the name of the progress bar. So if you see at the bottom here, it says it needs to be called health bar. Oh, I clicked on the wrong one. Progress bar needs to be called health bar. That should get rid of 2 of the errors. And I'm just going to add some text in above. I need to lock that to the bottom corner as well. This also needs to be called health text. There we go. So these will update accordingly. So I want the text appearance, I want the font to stick to the right hand side of the screen. Yeah, it's just justification. Oh, I thought it was somewhere else. So justification, so it'll always stay to the right. That looks perfect. So that's it, our HUD will be set up. We just need to link it to the character now. So the best way I like to do this I like to go to the player controller. So in the header file for the player controller, I'm going to create a pointer and a T subclass of. So the T object pointer is going to be called the U. What did I call my U? I think it was U player HUD. It should come up. There we go. I'll forward declare it. I'll just call it the player HUD. I need to put a U property on that. I don't want any of that. I don't want this to be accessed from anywhere else. It's just a and then the U property, the next one needs to be edit. Sorry about this. Edit anywhere. Edit anywhere. Blueprint read only. Sorry, I was just looking at some notes just in case. I forgot. Blueprint read only. And then I'll just have the category as UI. But it wants to change it and put me in input, which I am not in. So this is the T subclass of. This is U player HUD. I'll call this player HUD class. Perfect. So on begin play, I'm just gonna get outside of this and check if player HUD class is valid, which we will be setting in the player controller in Unreal Engine itself. So if it's linked to anything, then that's perfect. And then we're going to be calling player HUD equals create widget. Don't want you user widget, we want it automatically created that. We want you player HUD there. We also need to, and then player HUD, add player to, not add player to screen, add to viewport. So this should all work now when I jump in UE. So I just need to let live code, find the player. Where did he put them? Obviously first person, don't know why I didn't. Player controller. So at the top here I've got UI player HUD class, widget blueprint, add that in. So now you can see at the bottom right of our screen it shows that player HUD. So what we can do, just to show it does work, I'm not going to go through all the functionality. I'm just going to do a quick on the player. All the key bindings are on the character, which I prefer on the controller. But just to show that, what did I call the function? Set health bar. If I just call set health bar on begin play and then pass in, let's say 90 and 100, but we would have actual variables for these, it will update the UI. But you could literally create a box that you go through, and when you hit the box it takes 10 health or 2 health every couple of seconds, which would be great. But just showing that, let's do it dead quick, and then let's say the current health is 20, and this will show that the progress bar is changing colour. So it's quick live code, shouldn't take too long. Player only has 20 health. You could do this with a key binding, but I don't want to make this video too long, so thank you for watching. This is my first ever video for this channel. If you have any ideas on any more videos to make, or would like me to make that would be helpful for other people. I do have a list of other videos I'm going to make for this series, like making a timer on screen, adding elements dynamically, such as like in another game I've made before, you have the perk system and they all get added dynamically at runtime, and then how to animate with the HUD. But I think that's everything for today's video, so please like and subscribe if this has helped you, or if there's any way that I could be improved, just let me know. Thank you and goodbye.